Hello everyone! Welcome back again to my channel, Yam Heam Educamix TV 25. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much! So now let's talk about the governance in public higher education. Public higher education institutions can be classified into A. Chartered public higher education institutions. It refers to the state universities and colleges created by law or established by the legislator. B. Non-chartered public higher education institutions includes colleges and schools supervised by the CHED, local universities and colleges and community colleges, and other government tertiary education institutions. Total public higher education in the Philippines. There are 112 state universities and colleges or SUCs with 112 main campuses and 451 satellite campuses. 111 local universities and colleges institution. 7 other government schools or OSG. 1 CHED supervised institution. And 6 special higher education institutions or SHEIs. CHED categorizes the public higher education institutions in its SUCS statistical bulletin into state universities and colleges, other government HEIs or OGH. It includes LUC, CSI, OSG, and SHEI. Powers and functions of SUCS. SUC or state universities and colleges refers to public HEIs established by national laws which are financed and maintained by the national government and are governed by their respective independent board of trustees or regents. According to Republic Act No. 8292, otherwise known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, the governing board of state colleges and universities is mandated to exercise specific powers and duties enumerated in Section 4 thereof, in addition to its general powers of administration and the exercise of all powers granted to the board of directors of a corporation under Section 36 of Batas Pambansa Bilang 68, otherwise known as the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, the SUCs have the power to approve the curricula, institutional programs, and rules of discipline drawn by the administrative and academic councils. To set policies on admission and graduation of the students, Republic Act No. 8292, Section 4. Powers and functions of SUCs. To receive and appropriate all sums as may be provided for the support of the university or college in the manner it may determine, in its discretion to carry out the purposes and functions of university or college. To receive and trust legacies, gifts and donations of real and personal properties of all kinds, to administer and dispose the same when necessary for the benefit of the university or college, subject to limitations, directions, and instructions of the donors, if any. To fix the tuition fees and other necessary school charges, such as but not limited matriculation fees, graduation fees, and laboratory fees, as their respective boards may deem proper to impose after due consultations with the involved sectors. To observe non-chartered tertiary institutions within their respective provinces in coordination with the CHED and in consultation with the Department of Budget and Management, and to offer therein needed programs or courses to promote and carry out equal access to educational opportunities mandated by the Constitution. To collaborate with other governing boards of SUCs within the province or the region, under the supervision of the CHED and consultation with the Department of Budget and Management. The restructuring of said colleges and universities to become more efficient, relevant, productive, and competitive. To enter into joint ventures with business and industry for the profitable development and management of the economic assets of the college or institution, the proceeds from which to be used for the development and strengthening of the college or university. To develop consortia and other forms of linkages with local government units, institutions, and agencies, both public and private, local and foreign, in furtherance of the purposes and objectives of the institution. To develop academic arrangements for institution capability building with appropriate institutions and agencies, public or private, local or foreign, and to appoint experts or specialists as consultants or visiting or exchange professors, scholars, researchers as the case may be. To set up the adoption of modern and innovative modes of transmitting knowledge, such as the use of information technology, the dual system, open learning, community laboratory for the promotion of greater access to higher education. To privatize where most advantageous to the institution, management in non-academic services such as health, food, building or grounds or property maintenance and similar such other objectives, and to establish research extension centers of the SUC where such will promote the development of the latter. Other important administrative powers and functions of the SUCs for the protection and promotion of the welfare of the students, faculty members, officials, personnel, and the general public are to adopt and implement a socialized scheme of tuition and school fees for greater access to poor but deserving students. To authorize the construction or repair of its buildings, machineries, equipment, and other facilities in the purchase and acquisition of real and personal properties, including necessary supplies, materials, and equipment. Purchases and other transactions entered into by the university or college through the Board of Regents or Trustees shall be exempt from all taxes and duties. To appoint, upon the recommendation of the President of the university or college, Vice President, Deans, Directors, Head of Departments, faculty members, and other officials and employees. To fix and adjust salaries of faculty members and administrative officials and employees subject to the provisions of the revised compensation and classification system and other pertinent budget and compensation laws governing hours of service, in such other duties and conditions as it may be promulgate any provisions of existing law to the contrary, notwithstanding, and to remove them for cause in accordance with the requirements of due process of law. To award honorary degrees upon person in recognition of outstanding contribution in the field of education, public service, arts, science and technology, or in any field of specialization within the academic competence of the university or college, and to authorize the award of certificates of completion of non-degree and non-traditional courses. To establish chairs in the university or college, and to provide fellowships for qualified faculty members and scholarships to deserving students. To delegate any of its powers and duties provided for here and above to the president and or other officials of the university or college, as it may deem appropriate so as to expedite the administration of the affairs of the university or college. To authorize an external management audit of the institution to be financed by the CHED and to institute reforms, including academic and structural changes, on the basis of the audit results and recommendations. To establish policy guidelines and procedures for participative decision-making and transparency within the institution, and to extend the term of the president of the college or university beyond the age of retirement but not later than the age of 70, whose performance has been unanimously rated as outstanding and unanimous recommendation by the search committee for the president of the institution concerned. CHED's role in the public higher educational institutions is lodged in the governing or policy-making bodies of state colleges and universities known as the Board of Trustees or Board of Regents. Chairmanship is vested in the chairperson of CHED, who is usually represented in the meetings of the board by a CHED commissioner in accordance with Section 3 of Republic Act No. 8292. UP Charter of 2008 under Republic Act No. 9500. Both the chair of the CHED and the UP president serve as the chairpersons of the UP Board of Regents. Other members: the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Education, Arts, and Culture, the chairperson of the House Committee on Higher and Technical Education, the president of UP Alumni Association, one faculty regent, one student regent, one staff regent, and 3 sectorial regents. UP Charter has a specific section on commitment to national development which is balanced by a section on social responsibility. UP is mandated to perform meaningful rules and distinctive leadership in higher education and national development. Governance in SUCS and CHED. SUC is established to educate and provide academic degrees to a particular group of students or individuals and to address the manpower needs of the place or district which mandated to serve, be it national, regional, provincial, or city level. Its vision, mission, goal, process of operations, academic course offerings, programs in general trust must be developed in accordance with the legislative intent of each creation. CHED plays a crucial role in the creation and conversion of the SUCs. Its favorable endorsement is required by the Senate Committee on Education, Culture, and Arts and the House Committee on Higher and Technical Education. This favorable endorsement is issued by the CHED chairperson upon certification of the concerned CHED officials after complete staff work or appropriate determination of compliance with the standards for the creation or conversion of a state college or grant of university status to ensure that such institution is qualified for such award. CHED is responsible for the governance of the SUCs pursuant to RA number 7722, including their operational concerns such as mechanisms, processes, procedures for governance. CHED must be mandated to enable or capacitate SUCs to enhance their roles in national transformation and development through the production and transfer of knowledge and technology. Republic Act No. 8292 has a provision on the institutional framework for the SUCs to engage in income-generating activities to fund its programs and projects similar to the government-owned and controlled corporations or GOCCs. COA and DBM circulars allow SUCs to generate more income through a more effective and efficient utilization of their resources and to decide on the use of such incomes for reasonable purpose, which in discretion may be necessary and urgent for the attainment of their goals and objectives and pursuant to their mandates. See COA Circular No. 84-239. CHED Memorandum Order No. 30, Series of 2009, Legal Basis for the Regulation of Public Higher Education Institutions. Section 3 of RA number 7722 that states that the CHED has direct supervision and regulatory jurisdiction over public and private higher education institutions or HEIs, as well as degree granting programs in all post-secondary educational institutions, public and private. Section 8 thereof that authorizes the CHED to set minimum standards for programs and institutions of higher learning recommended by panels of experts in the field and subject to public hearing and enforce the same. Monitor and evaluate performance of programs of HEIs for appropriate incentives as well as the imposition of sanctions such as but not limited to diminution or withdrawal of subsidy, recommendation on the downgrading or withdrawal of acceleration, program termination or school closure, and rationalize programs and HEIs and set standards, policies, and guidelines for the creation of new ones as well as the conversion or elevation of schools to tertiary institutions subject to budgetary limitations in the number of HEIs in the province or region where creation, conversion, and elevation is sought. Section 13 thereof provides that no abridgment of curricular freedom of the individual educational institutions by the Commission shall be made except for minimum unit requirements for specific academic programs, general education distribution requirements as any be determined by the Commission, and specific professional subjects as may be stipulated by the various licensing entities. Further, no academic or curricular restriction shall be imposed upon private educational institutions which are not required for chartered state universities and colleges or SUCs. Next is the governance in the LUCs. LUCs or local universities and colleges refers to CHED accredited public HEIs established by local government units or LGUs through an enabling ordinance financially supported by the LGU concerned in compliance with the policy standards and guidelines of the CHED. CHED is requiring all LUCs to submit to its authority even if it is not part of their governing boards to pursue the twin strategic rules of higher education. First, instrument for poverty alleviation and vehicle for technologically driven national development and global competitiveness. LUCs have been relying heavily on their powers under the Local Government Code of 1991, Republic Number 7160. Batas Pambansa bilang 232, otherwise known as the Education Act of 1982, also provides that the recognition of local college is deemed granted simultaneous to its establishment. Section 27 of Batas Pambansa bilang 232 states that the educational operations of schools shall be subject to their prior authorization of the government and shall be affected by recognition. In the case government operational schools, whether local, regional, or national, recognition of educational programs and or operations shall be deemed granted simultaneously with establishment. CHED Memorandum Order Number 04 Series of 2007, Section 5 therefore states that the LGU proposing to enact an ordinance to establish and operate a local higher education institutions or HEI shall consult and coordinate with the CHED Regional Office or CHEDRO. The CHEDRO shall assist the LGU to ensure compliance with the CHED standards and requirements on the establishment of a local HEI. CHED should not be deprived of governance over LUCs because it has not only the power and authority but more importantly, the expertise to provide leadership and direction to all LUCs. Policies and standards issued by CHED regarding the establishment and operations of LUCs, CHED Memorandum Order Number 32 Series of 2006, the policy standards and guidelines on the establishment and operation of the local colleges and universities. CHED Memorandum Order Number 4, Series of 2007, the Implementing Rules and Regulations or IRR of CMO Number 32, Series of 2006, entitled Policies and Standards and Guidelines on the Establishment and Operations of Local Colleges and Universities, and CHED Memorandum Order Number 30, Series of 2009, the applicability of the Manual of Regulations for Private Higher Education or MORFE of 2008 to state universities and colleges or SUCs and local universities and colleges or LUCs. So here is our references. Thank you so much.
Till I ain't no more gone. More gone.